we just put a order, so it's going to show.
Okay. I'll follow what we wrote here.
Okay.
Okay, this is good.
No, it's a mute TV. It's okay, I got it.
Oh, just put the button on.
Yeah.
So you gotta do it. Just the button. Is it loud enough for you? No, this.
I didn't turn it on yet. I tested it, but I didn't turn it on. Maybe the master switch is off.
No, sure. Test.
I turned it off. If I turn
Yeah,
it
turn
off,
it off. No, just turn it off, that's all. And then there you go, then you got it. And just, if you speak or anybody else comes up to speak, just make sure you're speaking into the microphone.
yeah, okay.
Thank you.
It's a difficult process, but it's not a long process.
To keep you entertained.
Or you could just leave it at this low, but when you leave it at this low all the time. But when we're doing it 2 days, it's in it up. It would be too boring for me.
I'll just leave it.
Just leave it there, that's fine. That's one less thing I have to worry about, just leave it there.
We'll have to open it when we get outside.
When we get outside, for the time being, we leave it as is. There are not too many people, so I don't think the casket will be filled with flowers, so we can leave it as it is. If there was a lot of people and there would be a lot of flowers put it in, then we'll open it.
Today, we followed 2 years ago.
What happens is like for the same time, they pick up the paper, put it on top of
Source of all the
No, but for the...
But now, yeah.
Okay.
So when you put them going on for now, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But when they're speaking, you
Yeah.
have to go there to do it. Or can you do it on your phone?
No, it's from something else.
Okay, the phone is on.
Or is your computer?
If the speaker, when the speaker start, my phone, the old phone is there, and this one. It's like that speaker, the phone is on.
That's for when the food is going on, nobody's making that's the right one.
Okay.
And it's about 9:25 minutes at the stop.
Okay.
Is Dr. Deepak speaking on the same thing, through that same thing too?
Open the Deepak. I think I'll just, they said they just put in like the phone up to the microphone.
Okay, so you put the phone up there.
Yeah.
Immediately after I read my details, they will be organized.
Okay.
It's a Saturday.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And first thing in the morning, you have to to go to the puja.
that's fine.
So that's
No, rather it's fine. And it's a Saturday, so otherwise it's a perfect day of meeting.
Never seems to
You can turn down the volume now. Sita Ram, everyone. Sita Ram, everyone. Let's get ready to begin. If you can take our seats, our positions, we'll start in a few seconds. First, we'd like to ask if we can all stand together for an opening prayer. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Om Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Srinuyama Devaha, Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha, Sthirairangai Aishtushtavagunsastyanubhihi, Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu, Swasti na Indro Bridhasravaha, Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha, Swasti na Starikshu Arishtanemihi, Swasti no Brihaspatir Dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We take our seats again, please. First, on behalf of the family, I'd like to thank you all for being here and your show of support, not only today, but for the past few days and weeks leading up to this ceremony this morning. And on behalf of the community, we'd like to extend to the family our collective sympathy and condolences at the time of their loss. It is customary to honor divinity in a prayer by the recitation of a few verses of the scripture, and the common scripture chosen today is the Bhagavad Gita, verses that describe the construction of the human body and the immortality of the soul resident within this body. Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha. Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha. Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha. Arjuna Uvacha Kim tad brahma kim adhyatmam kim karma purushottama adhibhutam cha kim proktam adhidaivam kimuchyate adhiyagya katham kotra dehesmin madhusudana prayana kale cha katham geyosi niyatatmabhihi. Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Aksharam Brahma Paramam Swabhavo Dhyatmamuchyate Bhuta Bhavo Bhavadkaro Visargaha Karma Sangitaha Adhibhutam Sharo Bhava Purushaschandhidevatam Adhiyagyo Hamevatra Dehi Deha Vritamvara Antakale chamameva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kavelaram tam tam mevaiti kaunteya sadatad bhava bhavitah tasmat sarveshu kaleshu Mamanusmara yudhyacha mayarpitam manobudhir mame vaishyasya samshayah. Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha. Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha. Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha. Chant with me 5 times. The common mantra that is used to glorify God at these occasions. Ram Nama Satya Hai. Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai. We did the preliminary introductory steps to our ceremony prior to our start by calling the 5 individuals who will lead us in the performance of this ceremony, and in a prayer for the blessing and the purification of themselves by washing hands, sipping water, putting the little ring on the finger, and blessing with the chandan on the forehead. That was done prior to our start. It is customary to dedicate this morning's ceremony in a sankalp mantra, where we state our intention this morning in this ceremony. Just like how when there is an important event in the family, like a birth, a marriage, a death in the family, you go to the city records and you make an official record of this happening. So too in a prayer there is a verbal declaration of our intent this morning to perform the Antyeshti Samskar, or the funeral ceremony of our father, uncle, brother. So this is our prayer. At this time, here in this place, our chief, Yajman Akash, will perform the funeral ceremony of his uncle. Om Vishnura 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 Namaha Paramatmane Sri Purana Purushottamasya Vishnuragya Vartamanasya Adhya Brahmane Dvitiya Praharardhe Shri Sweta Varaha Kalpe Vaivasvata Manavantare Ashta Bimshati Tame Kaliyuge Kalipratama Charane America Deshe Hollywood Nagare Baudahau Tarvartamana Yathanam Kalayukta Samvatsare Uttrayane Palgun Mase Krishna Pakshe Panchami Tithau Shukravasare Hasta Nakshatre Driti Yoge Taitil Karane Makar Rasi Stite Surye Kanya Rasi Stite Chandra Akash Gobin Yajamanasya Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Antyeshti Karma Aham Karishye Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. A Sankalp mantra it is called. A dedication that here in this city, in this place, in this location, at this time, when the sun is in this position, when the moon is in that position, when the various planets are aligned accordingly, Akash, as the lead Yajman, will perform the funeral ceremony, Antyeshti Samskar, of his uncle, Bhagwan Singh. Also, even though he is not able to be here, Pandit Deepak has sent a little prayer and a few words offering his blessings and condolences at this time. So we'll ask Akash to lead us into Pandit Deepak's contribution.
Jai Sita. Appreciated priest, other pundits, members of the family, members of the community, as we have gathered here this morning to pay our final respects to a great legend in our community, a pioneer, a person who has paved the way for so many others to get, giving selflessly at this time of resources for the preservation and propagation of our culture and teaching traditions. Thank you is too simple a word to really show appreciation for the efforts and sacrifices that he has made. So many efforts may have gone unnoticed, yet we reap the reward. So many sacrifices, giving up of his time that he could have spent with his family, giving up of so many precious moments that he could have done other things, but he dedicated all of that, selflessly serving the community. We pay our greatest of appreciation to our dear Father who has tried. And this will become done. At this time, dear friends, we offer our prayer for the smooth transition of the outlook of this run. Om Anand Deva Shankha Chakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundalikaksha Prema Moksha Prato Bhava Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Satya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you, Panditji. Thank you, Akash, for leading us into that prayer and blessings from Panditji from far away. Also speaking on behalf of the family, first we'd like to introduce Curtis.
Grace would like to know the one Master who's in charge. That's good.
Curtis King. Today we are here to celebrate the life of Bhagwan Singh, also known as Papas. In 1985, I met the Singh family at another funeral, the funeral of Papas' mother, Rajee Singh. I showed up at the funeral home with my then girlfriend Bernice in New York. I eventually married Bernice, and Papas was the father and big brother to her, my wife. His assistance and guidance was a big part of the wedding, and since then, there was that close connection throughout the years. In another memorial, I remember the speaker saying that earning lots of money, owning the biggest cars, the biggest house, is not the ultimate success one should achieve in life. The cemeteries are full of people with big houses and big cars. What's important is the legacy one leaves behind. Bhagwan Singh is one of those guys. He was a my way or highway kind of guy. He's one of those individuals one can say has left his mark on the world, especially the Indo-Caribbean community. Starting out in New York, he was involved in the entertainment business, organizing parties and events. He assisted the late Cliffy Madhu in New York on New York radio with productions of that show. Cliffy Madhu was another individual that believed that members of the Indo-Caribbean community should remember their roots and spread the culture of our community. The Singh family was the main driver in the establishment of the Sanatan Dharma Mahasabha Shiva Mandir on Northern Blvd in Jackson Heights, New York. Around 1986, Papa's moved to Florida, opening the grocery store in Hollywood. I remember him coming to New York, shopping for Indian products like clothing and music tapes to send back to Florida. Somewhere along the way, Papa's got into the radio business, creating global entertainment, Sandeep Mala down here in South Florida. On his last broadcast in 2022, he said he was doing South Florida radio for 24 years. Papas was the founder and past president of the Shiva Mandir in Margate, Florida. Papas was also involved with many Diwali shows, concerts, charity events, and served the South Florida community. In fact, one must say that Papas's love for Indian culture through religion and music was not only felt by South Florida, but in New York, New Jersey, Canada, Trinidad, and across the United States. One must say, Papas was an international star. In conclusion, I want to thank all the friends and family supporters that have expressed their support and sympathy for the family.
Thank you, Curtis, and Akash also for coordinating that. And I think we have a live speaker now. Dennis?
Mr. Dennis here? Mr. Dennis? I don't think he's here.
My apologies, I thought he was here. Well, he's on my list.
Yes, he's supposed to be on the list, but unfortunately, I guess we
That's Dennis calling you, Dave.
unfortunately, it's not my fault.
Okay, we're moving on. If Dennis shows up, let me know, please. Catherine, next on the list. Can you speak also on behalf of your family, please?
Good morning, everybody. I want to share how grateful I am for the role that Dad had played in my life and our family's life. When our kids were born, he stepped up for us in ways that my own father didn't, and that meant more to me than I can ever fully put into words. I'll admit that I don't think he thought I was the perfect match for his son in the beginning, but honestly, I can't really blame him for that. But over time, we built our own mutual respect and understanding towards each other. I think 25 years will do that to anyone. What I'll remember most is how much he loved his grandchildren. They were his pride and joy, and they felt that every time that they were together with him. I'm thankful for the time that we had with him and for the ways that he showed up for us, and the place that he will always hold in my heart and in our family's heart.
Thank you very much, Catherine, for sharing your thoughts at this time. Before we introduce the other speakers, a little word on our ceremony this morning. It's not a very complicated ceremony. In fact, it is one of the simplest of all the samskars in our culture. From the birth of an individual to the death of the individual, there are periodic ceremonies that are performed for the spiritual development of that individual. This one that we do at the end of one's life, technically referred to as Antyeshti. Anta meaning end, Eshti, life, the end of life ceremony. That section of the Bhagavad Gita that we read initially in our opening prayer was Lord Krishna's description of the makeup of the human body. To use the Hindi words in our culture, Sthula Deha, the physical body, Shukshma Deha, the spiritual body, and Karana Deha, the causal body. That's how in our culture we have the expression Deha Traya. Deha meaning body, Traya referring to the number 3. The threefold makeup of the individual. Today our ceremony focuses on Sthula Deha, the physical body. Our responsibility as family and community is to take care of the physical remains of the individual. From this day onwards, for the next 10 to 13 days, our responsibility will be to pray for the welfare of the spiritual side of the individual, or Shukshma Deha, which leads up to shaving and what we call Bhandara ceremonies. And the third aspect of the individual, Karana Deha, functions to store the consequences of all our actions, thoughts, words, and deeds. And that determines our next incarnation, if and when it is necessary. Or if there's no store of desires that are unfulfilled and karma that is unburnt, then one becomes one with God, moksha as we call it. So 3 aspects of the ceremony. Number 1, today, Sthula Deha, the physical body. Next 10 to 13 days, Shukshma Deha, the spiritual individual, the mind and the intellect. Our prayer is for the welfare of the mind and the intellect in the afterlife. And Karana Deha, that's a relationship between the individual and God, the storehouse of all the karma that has been accumulated from lifetime after lifetime. The second aspect of our Gita reading that we did earlier was the manner in which an individual addresses his own needs while alive. It is a common concept in our culture that if you recite the name of God at the time of passing, and this was a verse in the Bhagavad Gita that we read, that recitation of God at the time of one's passing automatically leads one to God. Easy to say, difficult to practice, unless one has conditioned oneself for the duration of one's life, then it becomes an easy transition. And that was the second aspect of our Gita reading. Number 1, the makeup of the body, which forms the basis of our ceremonies, not only today, but for the next year, as it were. And 2, how do we help ourselves at that moment of our passing? Now we'd like to introduce Akash also to speak on behalf of the family.
Sitaram, Namaste, Assalamu Alaikum, Sat Shri Akal, and a pleasant good morning, everyone. My humble pranam to my elders and any pandits or sadhus in our presence. I am Akash Singh Rajkumar Gobind, the nephew of Bhagwan Singh, and I speak on behalf of my mother Sita, his sister, my sister Chandani, and my father Mikey. And if there's one thing my sister and I didn't pick up from our uncle, it's the art of being in the public eye. We would prefer to sit quietly in the back, but nevertheless I will try for him. And so much can be said of a man like Bhagwan Singh. Just the name alone invokes so much power. To begin with, I'd like to give a brief biography of my uncle. He came from humble beginnings in Penal Rock Road, Penal, in Trinidad, and was the eldest child of proud parents Rajee and Ramsubhag Singh, and was the grandson of indentured laborers from India. He immigrated to the US in 1969 with his parents and my mother. They first lived in Connecticut, then in 31st Street in Manhattan, before moving to Jackson Heights in Queens, and then moving to Corona with his wife and kids. He got married in 1976 and had 2 children, Mala and Annand. He became involved in cultural activities with his parents in New York and was a founder of the Sanatan Dharma Mahasabha Shiva Mandir on Northern Blvd in Queens. He later moved to South Florida, settling right here in the city of Hollywood. He came with the intention of opening the first Indian and Caribbean grocery and puja store, as well as having one of the first roti shops serving the small but mighty community at the time. From there, he became involved with cultural and religious activism in our community, helping to organize the local Hindu community with his good friend Pandit Ramsurat Maharaj and so many other pioneers. He also ventured into radio, hosting several shows, most notably Sangeet Mala with his daughter Mala, where he gave so many young boys and girls a chance to intern and volunteer to learn about music and sound engineering, my sister and myself included. In the early 2000s, he founded the Shiva Linga Mandir, now known as Shiv Shakti Hanuman Mandir in Margate, Florida, and was the past president. It was a venture very close to his heart and a lifelong dream. He later moved throughout South Florida from Davie to Lauderhill, finally settling in Century Village in Pembroke Pines. In the 2010s, he became a proud grandfather to Anna, Logan, and Grayson, whom he loved and adored so very much. I would like to speak now of the Bhagwan Singh my mother knew as Dumbo, and my sister and I knew as Uncle Papus. My mother and my uncle had one of the closest sibling relationships I've ever seen. Their love for each other was one that is so rare to find these days. Unlike all siblings, even like Janani and I, they would have their disagreements but make back up. He stood by his duty as an older brother in protecting and caring for my mother, especially after she lost her parents at a young age, and she did hers as a younger sister in praying and caring for him. He was her mother, her father, and her brother in one, even doing the father part in her wedding to my father, whom he was also a patriarchal figure to. They were 15 years apart, and with several stillborn siblings in between them, they always treasured each other. Raksha Bandhan was always special to them, and it passed on and became with my sister and I. They stood by each other to the very end, and she faithfully stood by his side in his last days. Their relationship was truly remarkable, an example for all brothers and sisters. There's a line from his favorite song, Koi Jabara Na Paaye, from the 1964 Bollywood film Dosti, that goes, Dosti hai bhai, to behna hai pyar. The translation being, friendship is like a brother that complements love like a sister. And I think that sums up their relationship better than anything else. A sibling relationship rooted in being each other's best friend. He was her Dumbo, as she would lovingly call him, after the Disney character of their childhood. As for my sister and I, we both grew up without grandparents. However, our uncle was always there to fill that gap, attending all our concerts, graduations, birthdays, award ceremonies, etc. Always taking the time to be there and shower us with his love. No birthday, Diwali, Pagwa, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, or 4th of July was complete without him. He was an integral part of our lives growing up. He would always treat us, from taking us to see Disney on Ice or the Disney movie Cars, which was our favorite, or surprising us with a case of Pear Drax for Christmas. He was by us almost every day growing up, and we'd have dinner and then sit around the TV to watch those Indian soap operas like Choti Bahu or Yahan Mein Ghar Ghar Keli, which we all enjoyed, especially him. I also loved hearing him narrate stories of family history, his days growing up in Penal, moving to New York, starting afresh in Florida, and yes, even family and community secrets. And of course, discussing politics both here and in Trinidad, which he was so happy that he got to live to see the UNC back in power again. These are memories that so few in our younger generation can say they have, and memories which I know Chanini and I will always cherish. From a very young age, I always looked up to my uncle, whether it was the respect he commanded from society, the way he put himself together, his natural leadership, his love for his culture and dharma, or the way he spoke, especially his Trini words and phrases like Rachafi, Nima Karam, or Never See, Come See. He and my father were, and still, my ideal role models of manhood. I enjoyed seeing him dress up in a crisply ironed kurta or his fancy suits and driving like a boss in his 2002, which was coincidentally the same year I was born, green and beige Lincoln Navigator. I hope Sri Krishna gives you the same Navigator up there. Uncle Papos was a huge influence on me growing up. One such influence was from his love for Indian movies and music. From a very young age, I remember finding in that same Navigator his CD with Rajesh Khanna's songs that were sung by Kishore Kumar. And from that day, I've been a die-hard fan of both, especially the song Ye Sham Masatani. My love and passion for Indian music, from chutney to bhajan, from chautal to old Bollywood, and from Indian classical to Indian pop began with him. I don't think my uncle, with his immense love for music, could have passed away on a more befitting day than Saraswati Jayanti, which also happened to be the death anniversary in the Hindu calendar of one of his favorites, Lata Mangeshkar. Another such influence was his devotion to God, his dharma, and his culture. When we were younger, he would carry us all the time with him to the Shiva Mandir for Sunday morning service, Satnarayan Puja for the full moon, and Thursday evening services. He would also make sure that during Navratri, for the Kanya Kumari Puja, my sister was one of the Devis and I was the Bhairava Baba. I also remember the large Diwali and Pagwa events he hosted that were so much fun. That early influence helped shape me greatly in who I am today. My week now starts off with Sundays in the Mandir, and when I was at FIU, I became involved with CSA, ISA, and HSC. The foundation of the many cultural and religious institutions he and so many other pioneers laid, and pushing back against the many prejudices and discriminations they faced, I and so many others in my generation can say that we are proud to be Indian, Trinidadian Americans, and that we are proud Hindus in this country. And it is our duty to uphold their dharma and legacy that they have passed on to us. He truly lived the American dream, coming to this country and working hard and enriching it with his culture, adding some masala to the melting pot that we call the United States of America. I know I can say this with utmost confidence. The Hindu, Trinidadian, Caribbean, Indo-Caribbean, Indian, and wider South Asian community owe a debt of gratitude to him and his many selfless and charitable contributions, too many to name. I pray that his Atma attain moksha from the cycle of samsara, where there is no pain and suffering, and where he can be with Sri Krishna, Hanuman Baba, Shiv Bhagwan, Devi Ma, and Sri Ram. I know he will be looking down and guiding us, and he would be so proud of us and his grandchildren. I know my uncle meant a lot to many people. I would like to say thank you to everyone for coming today and for your love and support. I would like to give a very special thank you to my Auntie Bobs, aka Mati, Pulmanya, Pulmati, or even the gray-haired Auntie, for everything you have helped us with and being with us through it all day and night. And a very special thank you as well to Auntie Nadira and Uncle Basant, Auntie Rani and Uncle Anil, Auntie Bernice and Uncle Curtis, and Valeska and Auntie Vidya for coming every night and helping us out so much. A huge thank you goes out to our Guruji, Pandit Deepak Maharaj, our Guru Ma Kavita, our family Pandit Tilak, and Pandit Annand for guiding us and sending them much love and support during this tough time. I would also like to thank all the singers and musicians who came during the wake. Uncle Ramesh and family, Uncle Nirmal, Uncle Bas, Avani and Brandon, Uncle Bobby and Auntie Sita, Uncle David, Uncle Suresh, Uncle Mahinder, and Valmiki and his parents who helped with the sound system. We'd also like to thank Miss Marlene, Auntie Gilda, Auntie Doll, Uncle Andy and family, Auntie Bina and Uncle Anand, the family of the late Pandit Surat, Auntie Chan and Uncle Narayan, Uncle Bobby and Auntie Doll, Nani Rajo, Nani Shirley and Anna Sonan, Uncle Vin and family, Uncle Joshi, Uncle Chabra, Uncle Prakash and his wife, Nick and the members of the Shiv Shakti Hanuman Mandir for coming out or watching online and supporting us when we had wake and satsang. We appreciate your love and support. I'd also like to thank Janani's friend Zini, as well as my friends Xander, Dalen, Himangani, and Malini, whose Aji's funeral is also today, for their love and support for us. And a special thank you to Auntie Brenda, Auntie Rose, Auntie Bernice, and Uncle Curtis, and all the others who took their time to come from out of town, especially with the inclement weather. Your presence is greatly appreciated. I want to say a special thank you to the many loyal listeners and sponsors of Sangeet Mala over the years for supporting my uncle in doing what he loves so very much. We'd also like to thank the many medical experts at the Memorial Healthcare System and the rehab centers who helped take care of my uncle over the years. May Bhagwan continue to bless you all in healing the sick. And a very special thank you to Mrs. Zach for helping us coordinate and plan the funeral. Uncle, you always dedicate songs to us every week on the radio. People used to always jokingly ask if it was our birthday every week, our name was mentioned. this song is for you, and this is a message from Chandani. We would like to dedicate this song for our uncle, as we know he would have loved this. He was always up to date on all the latest movies and songs. So on behalf of us, this one is for you. And there's two things I wish to leave you all with. Two things that he always said. Always thank God when you reach home, and of course, all good things must come to an end. Sita Ram, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Ram Nam Satya Hai. All of us, Uncle, we love you and we wish you a safe journey to heaven. Thank you. Sita Ram.
Thank you, Akash, for sharing your thoughts at this time. Uncle was such a public figure that many of his involvements with the community are public knowledge. The two things I didn't know before your speech. Number one, your name is Akash Singh Rajkumar Govind. I have to write that down. And second, I did not know Uncle was from Penal Rock Road.
Yes.
That's where I'm from.
Quarter mile.
1.5 miles. Nice to know. Now also, another speaker on behalf of the family, daughter Mala.
Good morning, namaste, salam alaikum, and good morning to each and every one of you. Thank you for coming out in this very chilly air. But most of all, I'd firstly like to thank everyone that attended the wake. Whether you were performing or just sitting there and being there, we really appreciate it. We thank you for coming, bringing stuff, and taking care of our family. But mostly I would like to thank you for each of every one of you who came out this morning. Unfortunately, the weather is not to Dad's standards. If you know my dad will not come outside the house if it's under 79 degrees. He would say, it's cold, give me back my blanket, cover his head, and say, see you later. Sorry, Dad, I couldn't grab you a cup of coffee this morning. Dunkin' had a really long line, and they were out of coffee cake muffins, and I don't think the people at Fred Hunter would let me bring it in. This past week, I've had many conversations. People have been calling. I've been reading several text messages. I've been viewing a lot of your messages on social media, on different platforms. Several of the words and phrases that stood out this past 2 weeks has been trailblazer, generous, kind, community leader, and one of a kind. A tremendous loss to the community. For us, it was Dad. We're proud to say this was our father, our grandfather, a father-in-law, a loving brother, a brother-in-law, an uncle, cousin to many in here, and of course, a dear friend. For me, he was my boss, but he was my dad, and he was my bestie. And the one person that could irritate him the most, me. During his time in Sangeet Mala, he always said to me, you know, you're good at doing these death announcements, so you'll stick with it. I looked at him and I said, really? Thanks. My father said, one day you're going to have to do mine. I said to him, let's hope I don't screw it up. And with him, you would see him give you a look, and it would be like, yeah, you probably would. So right now, Dad, I'm going to go ahead and try and do it. Let's hope I don't screw it up. But I could tell you one thing my dad is probably would be saying if he was standing right behind me. Fix your mic, stand straight, pronunciate, do not eat your words, and most importantly, project your voice. And don't go too fast. You're not trying to catch a train. So here goes it. We are deeply saddened to announce the death of Mr. Bhagwan Ramsubhag Singh. Originally from Penal, Rock Road, like you said, Akash, to the late proud parents of Miss Rajee and Ramsubhag Singh. And of course, his loving sister, Sita, his brother-in-law, Mikey, and their children, Akash and Chandni. Also his former wife, Kamini Marilyn Singh Dawson, and her loving husband, Alan Dawson. Mr. Bhagwan Singh is survived by his 2 children, Annand and myself, and his daughter-in-law, Catherine, and his precious grandchildren, Anna, Grayson, and Logan. You've heard many that he was in Greenwich, Connecticut. I hope I said it right, because if you know my dad is a stickler for saying Greenwich. Then later to Queens, New York, Manhattan, and of course in our home, Corona. He came here to South Florida, and he had an amazing legacy. Some might not remember Singh's grocery store, the roti shop, and all the other things he was doing, but most importantly, his successful radio career. My dad started out on Thursday nights with the Indian Classic Community Program with Mr. Bob Mahabir. Then later, he went to Sunday morning. After that, he went on his own. S&S Indian Grocery Store had a program, and my father was the host, and he carried out everything. Later, he moved with Gemini Production with the Chutney Explosion, and of course, the Hibiscus Party Hour. And then finally, Bhajan Mala and Sangeet Mala, which was owned by Global Entertainment, later to Singh Entertainment. At this moment, I would like to thank the Mahabir family, Mr. Derek and Alyssa Raghunath, Mr. J. Babulal, and their families for those programs. Mr. Singh is leaving behind one of the greatest legacies, Sangeet Mala, the only program here in South Florida that is over 20 years. Sangeet Mala filled your homes with your local businesses, community information, and most of all, great music. Whether it was bhajans, film songs, chutney music, or even telling you about the latest chutney show or the best Bollywood concerts. From Kumar Sanu to Rahat Fateh Ali Khan, Sonu Nigam, Shreya Ghoshal, and even Badshah. Trust me, he even liked Yo-Yo Honey Singh. But not to forget, he was most famous for his Diwali shows and Phagwa events. Someone said to me, nobody could have a Diwali show or a Phagwa show like your father. That's right. He believed in giving everything and everything. Our father was a very proud man. He was proud to be the president of the Shiv Lingam temple. He was even more proud of his veggie queues. Some of you have come, and some of you missed, I'm sorry. He was very proud of one veggie queue in particular. It was right after a hurricane. And he called me and he said, you need to come and help me. And I said, okay, no problem. He says, we're going to take care of our community. We're going to make sure everybody has a hot meal today. Only knows what's going on in their homes. Unfortunately, his time had come to an end there. During the next phase of his life, he's had many trials and tribulations. But I want to thank the 2 most important people that helped keep Dad going. Dr. David Walensky, and Dr. Alok Srivastava. There were many times when Dad didn't feel good, Dad would say, call Alok, ask him a question. Or he'll say, call David, ask him this for me, ask him that for me. And of course, they would always answer on FaceTime, check him out, and say, you're good to go, come into the office. During the next phase of his life, he had many trials and tribulations, but the most important thing was spending time with the family. Whether we were going for lunches, dinners, pool parties, or family gathering, this was special to him. He saw the kids learn to swim, saw Grayson hit balls, and of course, Anna could never do any wrong for him. I heard of a term he used that Chandani told me about. It was called modern family. Not many people would know my father and my stepfather are good friends. My stepfather would send seam for him. He would clean it, send it back to get cooked, and send it back for him to have for dinner. On behalf of the entire Singh family, and my brother and I, we would like to thank you for coming out today with all your love, your support. We thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Marla, for sharing your thoughts and feelings. Not the easiest of speeches to make, eh? You did well. Even the announcement was flawless.
You know, he would still tell me I did something wrong.
Not at this time.
Not this time.
There's a verse in our scripture. Tasmat va etasmat atmanaha. From God came the element space. Akashaha sambhutaha. Akashat vayuhu. Vayu agnihi. Agnerapaha. Adbhya prithvi. Prithivya aushadhayaha. Aushadhi bhu annam. Annat purushaha. The evolution of what we call Pancha Mahabhuta, the five great elements of this creation: space, air, fire, water, and earth, from God. And verses like these describe to us the divine origin of the elements that make up everything in the creation, including our own bodies. And this knowledge guides our ceremony today. After the initial practice of placing a chandan, mala, flowers, perfume, doing arati, a way of showing respect to the mortal remains of our father and uncle and brother, comes the official start of the ceremony by the offering of 5 what we call pindas, where each one of these are expressions of our appreciation to the elements that make up the creation, that also make up the human body. First pinda, I give thanks to the element earth. Second pinda, I give thanks to the element water. Third, I give thanks to the element fire. Fourth, I give thanks to the element air. Fifth, the element space. And the last one, number 6, I pay my respects to Agni, the presiding deity of the ceremony, for the disposal of the mortal remains of my relative. That's the first major aspect of the ceremony today. The second major aspect of the ceremony is normally followed when an individual passes away at a time in the Hindu month that is referred to as Panchak, or if the ceremony itself is conducted during that Panchak period. Panchak refers to Panch, meaning 5, a period of time in the Hindu month that is presided over by 5 nakshatras or constellations or stars in the zodiac. The normal practice in Hindu culture is to create 5 little murtis. When we speak to each other, we refer to them as dolls, made with the kush grass and the rice flour that we use to make the pinda, dressed in a little cotton to symbolize clothing. These are murtis representing these 5 deities of the zodiac that preside over the time of the passing of the individual. By the placing of these 5 murtis, honoring these 5 nakshatras or stars in the zodiac, the prayer is, let them accompany the soul of the individual in his journey into the afterlife. You know, a Hindu, a traditional Hindu who allows the patra to dictate every aspect of his life, chooses a good time to buy a house, a good time to have a puja, a good time for a wedding ceremony, a good time for every major event in his life. But unfortunately, since we have no control over the time of our passing, it may or may not be at a time that is auspicious or inauspicious for the beginning of a journey. And that's why the Panchak ceremony forms an important part of today's activity also. By the placing of these 5 murtis, the prayer is, let these deities bless the soul of the individual, or the Shukshma Sharir, the spiritual body, as he begins this journey into the afterlife. And the third major aspect of the ceremony, the Hawan, which we will not do here, we will do at the crematorium site itself. By offering ghee into the fire, our prayer is, every faculty of the human body is presided over by a particular deity. The sun governs the eye. The earth governs the function of the nose. Water governs the function of taste. Vayu, the function of touch. Space, the function of hearing. And so too, every aspect or faculty or function of the body is governed over by a particular deity, and by doing the Hawan, offering ghee into the fire, our praise, we thank you, O Lord, for the provision of these energies for the maintenance and the function of the human body. Now at the end of his stay here on this mortal realm, we ask that these energies that presided over the body be returned to their universal counterparts. Let them go back to God from which they have come. So 3 aspects of today's ceremony. 1, the 5 pindas or the 6 pindas that we offer. 2, the offering of the 5 murtis to commemorate the Panchak period during which he passed. And 3, at the crematorium site itself, the final Hawan that we will perform just like in any other ceremony. That's a brief explanation of what we do today and why we do it. Uncle was a unique individual. How many of us here will have the privilege of speaking at our own funerals? We've heard from members of the family. Now let's hear from the person himself.
When I first started into the radio business, I was in 1170 with the late Bob Mahabir with Voice Communication Network. Then I left and I went to 1580. 1580 closed, and Dr. Sam Subramani brought us here to 980. it was a wonderful time coming here. But then I went under the name of Global Entertainment and I start Bhagwan celebration for the first time in South Florida. I did it next to Shiva Mandir before they built the apartment building. I did Diwali celebration, Indian Arrival Day. Then I went to the temple, Shiv Lingam in Kimberly Boulevard. Then I went to Maggie. So Indian culture has been with me for a long time. Indian music is a hobby for me. I love it. I have no intention of leaving. I was going to continue this as long as I can. This program is the only Indian program in South Florida. We had many other programs, but because of the recession, all went through. I tried to keep it as long as I can, but now it's come to an end. Although this is the last program, if I could bring back this program, I would do it because I love Indian culture. But we never know what the Lord has for us. And we hope that something good may turn out in a couple of months. You never know what could happen. A miracle can happen. So thank you all for supporting me. And all the businesses, when they first opened, they advertised on here. Lucky City, Morne Fashion, Sati, Joy's Roti Delight, Singh's, and a couple others. When they first opened their business, they advertised. So all the advertisers have come and gone. Thank you, thank you, thank you for keeping me. There's so many businesses support me for Diwali shows on the radio. Set, screen post production, and all the other businesses support me. So I've been here a while. I will be here. And we don't know how long I'm going to be around. I'm turning 70 next month. And let's see what happens. It's the end. Thank you to all the advertisers. Thank you. And to all the loyal listeners. Thank you. Thank you for letting me step into your heart and fill it with some beautiful music. I thank all the wonderful boys and girls who have come through this program. Thank you. And thank your parents for letting you come. Thank each and every one of you again. It's time coming now for this program to come to an end. I will miss coming to the radio station, and I know a lot of you will miss Saturday tuning to Sangeet Mala. I am sorry. I try my best. I give it 24 years and 5 months. I wanted to go more, but the way this radio station and commercials are going, we can't. Maybe a miracle may happen in a couple months. I don't know. We have to depend on Lord Ganesh. Baba Putra Hanuman Ki Jai. Lord Shiva, Lakshmi Ma, to help us in health, strength, and happiness, that we can come back again. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for believing me. Until we meet again, all good things must come to an end. So long. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What I heard mainly in his little speech was a heart that was filled with thanks for the opportunity to contribute to the welfare of his family and his community. And we in turn would like to offer our thanks and gratitude to Uncle for the privilege of being in his company for the time that we had with him. Now, we'd like to ask Akash, together with the four other individuals who would lead us in the puja part of this ceremony, to step forward, please. And if you'd like to turn the music back on, we can adjust it at a suitable level so that everybody with suitable bhajans can participate and join in while we do the puja quietly. And everybody else perform with the chasing hand, touching each other's shoulders or hands. First, in a symbolic bath, you sprinkle water 3 times. Om Madhya Amuputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Stanam Maya Diyate Tuvo Pratishtatam. I think you can help us with the malas, one by one. Place a chandan, sorry. Om Madhya Amuputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Chandanam Maya Diyate Tuvo Pratishtatam. A little perfume. Om Madhya Amuputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Gandham Maya Diyate Tuvo Pratishtatam. And he will give you one mala, you place it in the first position so the rest will follow along. Om Madhya Amuputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Pushpamala Maya Diyate Tuvo Pratishtatam. Om
Om Adhya Amukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Deepam Maya Diyate Tu Pratishthatam. First spinner offering the earth, thanking the earth, the goddess earth for our use of the body. Put it in your hand while we recite the prayer. Om Adhya Mukutra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Preta Bhumi Tushtayartam Greho Vastudi Devata Shavo Nama Esha Pindaste Maya Diyate to Pratishthatam. Let's recite the name of shoulders. And 3 times water on the pin. Om Nivame Varuna Surudhi Havamadya Chavridaya Twamamuva Surachake. And that's the first spin. The other 5 will be offered in the procession as we're walking towards the crematorium itself. And toward the end of the line, and all the cup take over. Symbolic call. Om Adhya Amukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Snanam Maya Diyate Tu Pratishthatam. And then we offer him a chanda. Om Adhya Amukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Chandanam Maya Diyate Tu Pratishthatam. Om Adhya Amukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Gandham Maya Diyate Tu Pratishthatam. You can bring it or you need something to cover to it. Om Adhya Amukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Pushpamala Maya Diyate Tu Pratishthatam. Om Adhya Amukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Deepam Maya Diyate Tu Pratishthatam. Okay. And Chandani will take over. Symbolic part 3 times in the circle motion. Om Adhya Amukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Snanam Maya Diyate Tu Pratishthatam. Chandan. Om Adhya Amukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Chandanam Maya Diyate Tu Pratishthatam. Om Adhya Amukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Gandham Maya Diyate Tu Pratishthatam. Om Adhya Amukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Pushpamala Maya Diyate Tu Pratishthatam. Om Adhya Amukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Deepam Maya Diyate Tu Pratishthatam. Ceremonial bath. Sprinkling water 3 times around the body. Om Adhya Amukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Snanam Maya Diyate Tu Pratishthatam. Using the ring finger of your right hand, we offer a chandan on his forehead. Om Adhya Amukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Chandanam Maya Diyate Tu Pratishthatam. Idam Gandham Maya Diyate Tu Pratishthatam. That's good. And now we offer him a garland with the string so that it goes around his shoulders. Om Adhya Amukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Pushpamala Maya Diyate Tavo Pratishtata Om Madhya Mukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Deepam Maya Diyate Tavo Pratishtata.
Number 5. This one. Ceremony of bath by sprinkling water 3 times.
Om Madhya Mukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Snanam Maya Diyate Tavo Pratishtata.
Glorification of the body by offering chandan and perfume.
Om Madhya Mukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Chandanam Maya Diyate Tavo Pratishtata.
Spray perfume on the outside.
Idam Gandham Maya Diyate Tavo Pratishtata. Om Madhya Mukputra
Right now.
Om Madhya Mukputra Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Idam Pushpamala Maya Diyate Tavo Pratishtata.
And now we'll offer the $5. The drink and what I want. Bring them also. Open them one by one. And going to open for our use both hands of your fall. Make the leaf and everything. Hold it in your hand, both hands. You can hold it over the casket.
Om Madhya Mukputrasya Shri Bhagwan Singh Pretasya Dhanishyadi Kritakamarane Panchakamarane Suchista Vashamvishta Vinashartham Panchakamaranam Vidhi Karishye Om Pretavahaya Swaha.
That's right. Put it closer so that when you close the casket, it won't be damaged.
Om Preta Sakhaya Swaha.
The side is left.
Om Preta Paya Swaha. Om Preta Bhumipaya Swaha.
Usually go on the feet, but we were just go down to the bridge.
Om Preta Harpare Swaha.
Water. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Om Imam Me Karuna Sruddhi Havamanyacha Pretaya Tvamavasurachate. Om Preta Vahaya Namaha. Om Preta Sakhaya Namaha. Om Preta Paya Namaha. Om Preta Bhumipaya Namaha. Om Preta Hartare Namaha. flower by each finger or each murti. Om Preta Vahaya Namaha, Preta Sakhaya Namaha, Preta Paya Namaha, Preta Bhumipaya Namaha, Preta Haritre Namaha. Idam Pushpam Maya Diyate Devokritishtata. Arti for each one. Suchishta, Vamsharishta, Vinashartham, Panchakamaranam, Vidhi Karishe, Idam Deepam Maya Diyate Devokritishtata. Okay, that's only the puja honoring these 5 devotees or the 5 nakshatras for Panchat ceremony. Okay, now we can sit down again. Put that back again.
That completes the offering of the first pinda and the offering of the 5 murtis for the Panchak ceremony. The rest of the pindas will be offered as we make our procession to the crematorium in the traditional manner by stopping at various intervals in our journey to the other site. At this time, there are additional malas. If the members of the immediate family would like to offer a mala, Auntie will help us along. Whatever your custom is, offer the flower, offer the mala, offer arti, whatever your custom is. And then, after the immediate family has had a chance to pay their respects, then we'll offer the opportunity to the rest of the congregation. You can file past the casket in a nice orderly manner, offer your flower, pay a little respect, and you go back to your seat again before we get ready for procession to the crematorium. So first we let the family, and then the rest can follow along. Thank you guys. Now we'll give the congregation the privilege of filing past the casket. There are loose flowers there. You collect one on your way, offer it into the casket, and go back to your seats before we proceed. So feel free if you like. You can go that way, pick up a flower and come this way. Go ahead, you're there already.
What we do, that's what you would tell her.
Okay, lots are off. We're here. Okay. Really, I can see the resemblance. Really? Okay, that's nice. That's
Your footsteps. Sit down in your footsteps.
okay. Nice to know.
Get in the same house. There's some reason.
Yeah, we need some hands to take care of it. That's okay, there's lots of people to help. our seats again, please? Can we take our seats again, please, for a few minutes? Attention, please. Can we take our seats, please, for a few minutes again? I was told that Dennis is here.
Yes, he is somewhere else.
He disappeared again.
No.
We cannot close our ceremony without having an opportunity to listen to Dennis. He was promised the first one in the speeches. So now that he is here, let's invite him to come up to the podium, please, before we begin our final phase of this morning's ceremony. Come. Sorry we missed you earlier, but floor's yours now.
Good morning, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry to be here on this occasion. I mean, Mr. Bhagwan Singh has been a pillar in the community, the Caribbean community, the Indian community, and I have known him for many, many years. When he moved from New York, and he opened his first Indian store in Margate. We have been friends from then, and then he moved on. And then he had a radio program and all that. I must say I spoke to him about 3 weeks ago, the New Year, and he was a little happy, but he was happy in a way that, you know, that people do call him. But we always have to remember something. In this world, we meet people of different ethnic groups, religious groups, and we become friends of them at a time that people can be part of your life. But when we get older, like myself, and we go down in age and things like that, people forget us. And we shouldn't only come here when there's a debt to pay our respect. We should pay our respect by making a phone call, because he was very upset that he said he has done so much for the community and nobody calls him or nobody looks for him. And that's bad in a community like that, especially the temple that he formed out in Margate. And I think that I'm here because I have been an icon in the community, the Caribbean community. A lot of people know me. Some people might know me because they just came in this community. But I have been here since 1988, and I have done a lot of community work. I have formed the first Nagar in South Florida. I was the founder. People wouldn't know that. But I'm not here to praise myself. Praise here Mr. Bhagwan Singh for all that he has done for the community. And we must not forget him. We must forget that he has done so much. There is no radio station again that you can call and wish somebody happy birthday or somebody happy anniversary or anything like that. He has formed it, but it has no longer. I hope Mala can continue doing it as a memory for your father. And once again, I want to say, we mustn't forget our friends and family. There's a phone, you can make a call. You have WhatsApp, you have Facebook. So we must all live as a family, continue as we go along in life. And I wish the family my condolences. And thank you very much. I hope I didn't step in anybody's corn, but that is my word today because I see it happen around in the community. We must look out for our family. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And be good to each and every one. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dennis.
Thank you, Uncle, for sharing your thoughts and your wishes at this time. This is what our proceedings from here on will be like. Number one, we need the 6 pallbearers who will be responsible for lifting the casket, not from here, but from outside, immediately after the doorway. You know who you are.
I believe 2 are missing. I believe 2 are missing.
We'll need to recruit some volunteers. We can organize that outside. Number 2.
Yeah, but one person, Ryan wasn't here, so it's Trevor, Aquart, Rajee, you, Annand, and this guy.
So we need 6, right?
6, we need one more.
One more.
Number 2, Auntie, you have the sheet that we will spread outside the door. There will be a packet of black till in the box. There will be several loose leaves of kush grass. And I think you have a little gobar. We can arrange that immediately outside the door. I'll come with you. Number 3, when we stand in a couple of minutes and recite our closing prayers, we'll alert the funeral director that we are beginning our procession. They will be responsible for the casket from here on the trolley to outside the door, where then we will need the 6 guys for lifting and placing on the sheet. And then we are familiar with the rest of the process. Our procession down to the crematorium will stop at various intervals, offering the pindars as we go along. I'm not sure how many of us can be accommodated into the crematorium site itself, but we'll give the family
The 5.
or just the 5 guys or 1 or 2 of the immediate family. The rest can congregate outside. That's fine. So now, can we stand please for final prayer? Om Gayadini Chatirthani Yeche Punyaha Siloschyaha Kurukshetre Cha Ganga Cha Yamuna Cha Saradviram Kaushikim Chandrabhagam Cha Sarve Papa Pranashinim Bhadravashakam Sarayum Gandakim Tamasatatha Vaishnavam Cha Varaham Cha Tirtha Pindarakam Tatha Pritivyayani Tirthani Chaturaha Sadaram Stata Om Anadhinodhana Vishnu Shankachakra Gadadharam Apadu Pundari Kaksham Preto Gati Samudbhavaha Om Vishvatas Chakshuruta Vishvatu Mukho Vishvatu Bahuruta Vishvatasmat Sambahubhyam Dhamati Sampata Traidhyava Bhumi Janyan Deva Ekaha Om Ramanam Satya Hai 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now we're ready to begin our procession to the crematorium site itself. Funeral director will close the casket. You can organize everybody to walk behind it. We'll need this. I will take this. And we'll need, no, we don't need a chapter. That would go with box. The flowers can go with box. This can go with box. And somebody will take it.
3 or more servings of French fries per week.